Crystal Palace at home. Just thought I'd point that out, by the way. That is going to be Co-op Live, the new arena in Manchester, which is springing up along the side of Joe Mercer Way. Imagine when that's finished, all the people coming to the game here, 55 and maybe it's extended more, thousands of people, another, what, 20,000 or something. Car parking's going to be pretty horrendous, isn't it? Because I don't think the things are going to be coordinated, but that's another story. Anyway, thanks very much to RRG Group, who of course specialise in some of their garages in Toyota, which I highly recommend, and also to Timpson for their support of the matchday vlogs. Crystal Palace at home, Patrick Vieira coming back. I do remember an away trip when I did little bits and pieces for City in the past, when Patrick Vieira and Tony Buck went with me in a limousine in Napoli to a lunch. That was a pretty special day. Anyway, let's see who's here today. Let's see what the mood is. Let's see if City can bounce back after the draw against Newcastle.
We've got a lot of good players, and with Vieira coming back, I'm sure he'll want to do something. But yeah, they're an exciting team to watch, and they can cause problems.
You were a fullback for a lot of your career anyway. Would you have liked playing in this inverted fullback system?
What's that?
Playing in midfield.
Oh right. No, I'd have got a bollocking if they'd have told me, if I'd have got in midfield. Colin would have said, "Get back there, lad."
So you're fairly optimistic then that City can do it today?
Yeah, we can beat anybody at the moment. So we'll wipe the floor with this lot.
Last time Zaha did his best to get somebody sent off, and that worked. He got Laporte sent off, hence we lost. But this time he's not playing, so I believe. So I think we'll win easily today.
So you're very confident then?
I'm very confident.
Derby, yeah, you went to Derby.
I went to Bremen.
And then you went to Derby, didn't you?
Then you went to Southampton.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to see you here today, Dave. How much are you looking forward to the game?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, yeah, because I've obviously not seen them for a while.
You're one of the best centre-halves, if not the best City centre-half I've ever seen. How do you like the current centre-halves?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Should win today, shouldn't they?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, we're going off the last two appearances at home against Palace. We've lost the last two, haven't we? So I think it's our turn to win today.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think I'm going to go 4-1 to say.
Yeah. And the fact that the Zaha's out might make a bit of a difference.
Yeah, definitely. He's a decent player. I think we've got this one in the bag today. Yeah, 4-5-0, I reckon. Yeah, I'm confident.
And it's the first of 2 home games in about 3 or 4 days, so it gets a bit busier from now on, doesn't
It does,
it?
yeah, correct, yeah. Quite pleased with our performance up to now, but what I was disappointed with was the Newcastle one last week.
Yeah, we
I was up there, sat in a pub full of Geordies, so I kept really, very quiet.
So you want to get it out of your system today?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It was good though, you know what I mean? Good comeback, it just shows what a good team we are.
Yeah, exactly. Champions are made of.
They're a well-organised side, and they'll play on the counter, and they'll frustrate us. And if anything, like the last couple of games we've played them, I think we might find it tough today. Obviously, we've got Haaland and a couple of new signings, which might mix things up a little bit. But I'm not overly confident today. They're a bit of a bogey team.
Have you been busy this morning because the Champions League draw, the fixtures were announced, and I know I've been busy.
Yes.
Have you been busy?
I have. So we've been weighing up the options for Seville next week. We're definitely going to do Copenhagen because that will be a new ground, a new country to be fair. I've never been there before, so we'll be doing that one in Dortmund. Seville might be a challenge because obviously we've got 7, 8, 9 days to sort things out and book time off work and things like that. But we'll be discussing it tonight after today's game.
And now we're into that phase of the season where it's a game every 3 days.
Yeah.
Back here again on Wednesday against Forest.
Absolutely, thick and fast. 2 games a week. That's the price we pay, isn't it, for a bit of success and being in all the competitions. Obviously, we've got to condense it with the World Cup coming up. We could have done without that, really. I would prefer the season just to be normal, but it is what it is. We'll have that protracted break in November and then come back again on Boxing Day.
I don't know, I'm really looking forward to it, Cheesy. It should be a tough one because Palace are a bit of a bogey side as well. But I noticed they've left Zaha out of the starting lineup, so that's a bit of a strange one really, because he did well against Liverpool, and I thought they would have him on the counter against City, but it don't look that way.
I know you watch a lot of young players in your job. How good is the current batch at City?
No, they're not bad. They're not bad. In fact, a couple of them are playing at my old team, Sheffield United. So McAtee and Doyle, so that's good. But yeah, they are. I mean, they like they do with the first team. They try and recruit the best young players in the world and in Europe. So they should be not bad, really.
This is Laura's first game. It's your first game, isn't it, Laura? Are you excited?
Definitely.
And she wants to come to the game because all her friends at school are boys and they all like football, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what score do you think it's going to be? What did we say? 4-1? 4-1.
There's nothing to stop you playing for City, you know. You've got a women's team now.
Yeah.
You're going to play for City.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, this is a lovely day for it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as hot as last time, which is good. But yeah, I don't think I've been to many City games in my shorts.
No, that's true. I've got my shorts on as well, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, just picked up the programme again. I think it's gone up a few pence this year, but I mean, it still looks very good value for money as far as I'm concerned. Quality-wise, it's fantastic. If I have a criticism of it, it doesn't do, as a writer myself of history of the club, it doesn't seem to feature much about the history of the club. I know it's the next generation and the youngsters are coming through and everything, but there's been an awful lot that's gone on in the 125 plus years, and I think sometimes we tend to forget that, concentrate on the future, which again, as I've said, is not incorrect, but I just think sometimes we should remember what's gone on, the people that have come before that, and this seems to me to be a perfect way of remembering it.
As a writer, because I've read some of your books.
Thank you very much.
You've written so much about the history of
Do you buy any, or you just read them though? That's another question.
I've been at dues with you and I've bought
Yes,
them.
you have. Yeah.
And I just wonder whether the history that is being made now is going to dwarf what's come in the past.
Quite possibly, if for no other reason than media coverage of it. I mean, I grew up under Joe and Malcolm's era, and the footage was nowhere, it was a minuscule amount as to what it is now. I mean, you can be anywhere in the world now. This game, Crystal Palace, Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, you could be in anywhere in the world and watch this game. But back in the day when I was growing up, in the early to mid 60s, you know, you had to wait for match of the day and a bit of scratchy black and white coverage for 5 minutes, and that was it until the following week, or the football pink came out, you know. So yes, purely from a technology point of view and a media point of view, this current era and the past 10 years or so will dwarf what I grew up with.
What's your favourite book that you've written?
My favourite book, and I am biased about it because it's the era that I grew up with, was the Mercer Allison years. And the contributions from the likes of Malcolm and Neil Young and Tony Buck, and for me to have the opportunity to speak to these people that I'd seen countless times running up and down the pitch, it was just wonderful for me, you know. So that's my favourite book of the ones I've done.
Keep up the good work, Ian.
Thank you very much. Hope so.
I know, John, you played for Oldham Athletic with great distinction, but you're a City fan, aren't you?
Oh, very much so. I mean, I missed a few years when I was playing, but I started watching City in 1965 at Main Road. Just watched. I love the players. I love Somerby, Bell, Neil Young, Johnny Cross, and people like that. Yeah.
What do you think of this lot?
Well, these are the reason what this last 4 seasons got me back watching football after a few years where I wasn't. I was still a City fan, but I just thought the football these play is something else. And yeah, I've been back about 4 seasons now.
As a goalkeeper of some distinction yourself, what do you think of Edison and the way he plays?
I think we were just talking about it. He's absolutely, his distribution and stuff like that. He's obviously a top quality keeper at saving anyway.
You could have done that though.
I would have had to practice, which Edison's obviously done, unless he's just a Superman with how he distributes that ball. I watch him at when they're training just before they come out and stuff like that. Different class, absolutely. Love
Is
it.
going to win today?
I'm sure they will win, but like many people, I said, that I were boycotting. But I listened to Pep in his interview, and he says, listen, you don't look at it that way, and that's the way you look. How many times do we lose at home? It's absolutely so rare, and we've got Ireland now as well as an added person for people to look after, i.e. their players. So yeah, I'm sure we'll do it. 3 points.
First thing I've got to say to you is happy 77th birthday, Pete.
That was yesterday.
A lot of City fans have latched onto this, and I'm delighted they have, because you've been around for a long time. You've had a few special treats in the last few days. What's been the most special thing that you've done?
They asked me to paint the circle yesterday afternoon, right in the very centre, you know. And
That was down to Lee Jackson, the groundsman, wasn't
when
it?
I went on the on the club tour, you know. And they've rallied round and paid for my hotel and my first class train trip up from Milton Keynes.
How long have you been watching City?
On and off for about 67 years, but regular since 63-64 season. Yeah. So it's time flies when you get past 60. You know, it's.
How does this team compare to what you've seen then?
Oh well, I mean they've got the money now, haven't they? It's all to do with money. I mean, really, they bought those titles. Technically, they bought those titles, haven't they? You know, it's all money now. I think it's a shame because it's spoilt it a little bit. I remember when parents could afford to take the kids to a pure game, but I mean, a family man takes his wife and 2 kids to a football game. He's talking nearly 300 quid. You know.
You're going to have a good day though tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm hoping to go to America next year, but I've always wanted to go just to New York just to say I've been. But it's all my money, most of my money goes on football, so you can't have it and save it as well, you know.
Listen, well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Let's hope this thing win for you.
Yeah.
Explain that to me, Jim.
2 free goals, to be honest. The first one came off 3 City players before it ended in the net. That was from a free kick. And the second one was a corner again. Just a simple cross and a simple header. I think Haaland was blocked off on that. By that, I don't think they've had any other chances, to be honest with you, Crystal Palace. It's quite frustrating, I'll be honest with you, because they've had a lot of possession. They've got to convert as quickly as they can coming out the second half. But I'll be honest with you, I'm still not that worried. I still think there's goals to come.
The one statistic that worries me is if you include the Community Shield, City have gone 2 goals behind in 5 of the last 7 competitive games.
Yeah, that is a concern. One thing I've noticed is Walker and Cancelo have played a lot in that centre midfield. It creates more down the sides. But in today's game, they've both been from set pieces, which shouldn't really happen, if I'm honest with you. So from open play, they haven't done that much. Eze's been the outlet for them, running with it. I think they've been buoyed by watching Newcastle and how they've, with St. Maximin running at them. So yes, that is a worrying stat, but it's been off. I think Pep will look at it as they've not created much in that front. City will just have to go and keep doing what they're doing and try and get a goal. I would like to see Haaland more hit, just for his size alone. You know, they're playing 5 at the back, 4 midfield. It's very, very tight to play balls in through that back end. I think we might have to look at hang one up for Haaland.
Don't judge me. I said to get Foden off and to get Bernardo off. Foden did the second assist and Bernardo scored one of them, so blew me away. Never ever listen to me on the podcast again. Seriously, it was great to come back and get 4. Great for Mr. Haaland there to get his 3. Superb, yeah.
So, get any better than that, really, does
it? Not from a City point of view. No, you're right. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to go home happy now. I was thinking of changing my shirt on the way home.
Superb game, superb second half. Yeah, and taking him off at half time just shows what I know about football. And also taking Foden off, and he had a great second half as well. So yeah, he's been brilliant all around.
He knows what he's doing.
He does. More than me anyway. I always get it wrong.
Not to go second half. Brilliant. What is it with Crystal Palace? Why do we do this?
What was the difference in the second half then?
Whatever Pep said to him in the tunnel.
It's Pep talk.
Pep talk, definitely. We're going to kick up the Jackson more like. I really liked it. I like when we went to create back and then we put Alvarez in front and Alvarez looked brilliant. The way I was link up play, building it all up and Haaland got a hat-trick. Can't ask for more, can we? all comes to comeback kings.
Bad first half, but played much better in the second half. The substitutes made a big impact on the game.
Is that what the difference was then?
Yeah, big difference. Made more lively in the second half, and I thought Bernardo was our best player other than Haaland.
The fact that they can come back from behind, and they've done this regularly, 5 out of the last 7 competitive games since City have been 2 goals down, it shows a bit of character, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. They don't put their heads down when we go down. They've got the character to come back and get their points.
It was a shocking first half, but well, Haaland, he's going to score 30 goals this season.
Only 30?
35 then. I think Alvarez and Gundogan made a massive impact. And yeah, come on you Blues. Hi Dad.
Well, brilliant result in the end, but it wasn't kind of how the game played out, was it, Ian? We went 2-0 down to 2 horrendous defensive mistakes. I don't know what, I think it's Diaz, I don't know what he's doing for the first one. He's ducked out the way of it and then it's hit stones and gone in. And the marking for the second one's absolutely abysmal. So I've got to mention it because it could have very well stayed that way for a lot longer. Game-changing moment is Monsieur Gundogan. It's just absolutely pivotal to what we do. Him and Bernardo Silva. Forget De Bruyne, but forget even Haaland. Gundogan and Bernardo Silva for me are the 2 most irreplaceable players that we've got in this whole squad. They are so pivotal to what we do. Bernardo created his own space. He was responsible for the goals. Alvarez coming on with Gundogan created Haaland's goals. The Haaland goal at the back post comes from Alvarez and Gundogan and Bernardo's build-up. The whole system changed because of them 2 additions, and Bernardo Silva's just unbelievable amount of quality. Phil Foden again for me was a passenger. I know he created 1 goal in the end, but for me was a passenger. I think he's been off the boil for a month if I'm honest. Don't think we can keep blowing smoke up somebody's backside that's not playing as well as they should be, because we wouldn't do it for anyone else. We can't keep making excuses. And for me, Alvarez coming on was a breath of fresh air. Tevez and Aguero in one player, if you've ever seen it. Absolutely unbelievable. What a comeback. Get in there.
Yeah, it was a good comeback. I mean, 2-0 out and we scored 4 goals. I mean, that's what I think.
At half time, be honest.
Yeah.
You think they get 4 goals?
Yeah, I was confident. I was confident we would win at least.
Too.
And we've been good in the last few games in terms of coming back. Like 2-0 last time with Aston Villa, and now 4-2 with Crystal Palace, and they've been a bogey team for us. So I was confident we would win this time definitely. And you know what happens whenever I come, you always win. That's it.
Better come every week then.
Yeah, I want to, but sometimes I don't get time. But yeah, it's always good to be here.
Well, where do you start summing up a game like that? I must admit, it was certainly a game of 2 halves, and pep talk at half time certainly made all the difference. Haaland was a man mountain. The 3rd goal typified him with that strength that he had. Bernardo, City can't let Bernardo go. I know Pep said on Friday he wouldn't be going anywhere. Fingers crossed that nothing happens before the window shuts. A magnificent performance by him, and obviously Kevin De Bruyne brilliant as well. But 1 or 2 people giving different views on things. I love it when they do that. Kevin De Bruyne is something special too, isn't he? In fact, Manchester City is something special, because you know what? Thanks to the RRG Group, by the way, and to Timpson and to Howard Solicitors. But you know what I'm going to say, don't you? It's great being a Blue.